Hey guys, Britt here. Welcome to End Times Bible Prophecy. Well, this is disturbing. Come, Lord Jesus, come. That's a prayer I say every day. Today especially because I encountered something that I found a bit disturbing and unsettling. So today's video is going to be a little bit different format. It's just going to be free form. I'm going to tell you about the story of what's happened that, again, has left me a bit unsettled, and we'll talk about why, but not fearful by any means. And we're going to talk about the hope we should all have when we get through this. But I wanted to make a quick video about this because, to me, this is an indication of the signs of the times in which we live and the deception that's going to come upon the whole world very shortly. So I want to take a look at this right here. So this is a YouTube video of Christmas songs. So this popped up in the YouTube algorithm as a recommendation to me. And I like to listen to Christmas music, especially Christmas classics. So I clicked on this one and I played this in the background while I was working. Not really actively listening, but just background music. And what I found was there were certain songs that I found rather appealing that I wanted to hear again. And I would, when the video played through, or really the audio played through, because again, I was just listening to this in the background, I would find those songs and listen to those again. And I thought, wow, this is rather peaceful and soothing and tranquil. I like these songs. These are newer songs that I haven't heard before. And they sounded, like Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin or even Michael Bublé. Originally, that's what I thought this was. So I went into the description to see, well, which of these songs am I listening to? And of course, in there, and again, all the Christmas classics: Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, Brenda Lee, Nat King Cole. But there's only about 40 minutes of songs listed here, and this is a 2-hour and 4-minute video. And so it's like, well, are these looped? And yes, they are. They play again, but only twice through, which puts us at about an hour and 20 minutes. So I want to cut forward to what comes on after that. So this is around the hour and 23-minute mark. I'll put a link to this on the channel, and you can listen to this. Let me turn on the sound of this and skip through this. But this is what we hear right now is the end of Bing Crosby singing Frosty the Snowman. This is a classic we've all heard. And then something else comes on right here. So let's listen to this and tell me in the comments what you think.
Bells are ringing clear. Sleigh is waiting, winter time is here. Bundle up and take my hand tonight.
Of course, we can tell this is AI video. That people aren't going to stand right next to a train coming through.
Gliding fast, hear the sleigh bells play, laughing loud as we chase the day. Hold on tight, let the cold wind say, joy will guide our holiday.
So who sings this song? So let's go look up the lyrics to this. What song has the lyrics?
Stars above us glow.
Horses prancing
Through the valley winds blow.
Where the north winds
Hearts are
blow.
warm though the night is cold. Stories of the season yet untold.
So a specific song does not come up for this. And there's a reason a specific song does not come up for this, and that's because this song does not exist. It's AI generated, just like the video that's playing in the background. Now, I knew from the get-go that the video was AI generated, but I didn't suspect the songs would be, especially with classics There were real classic songs that we've heard for decades at the beginning of this, and then these were just sort of tagged on at the end. And I asked my daughter, I said, come listen to the song, let me know what you think. And she was listening to it, and she said, well, it's kind of catchy, right? It's kind of catchy. And then we started looking for the lyrics. What song is this? Because initially I thought, well, maybe this sounds maybe like a Michael Bublé, more of a contemporary. Maybe it's an album he put out 2 or 3 years ago, and that's why I've never heard the song before. Well, the reason I hadn't heard the song before is because, well, it didn't exist until AI generated it. It's not performed by a real artist. The voices you heard, the music you heard, was not performed by human beings. It was AI generated. And the rest of the remaining 40 minutes of this video go on, and they have other songs similar to this one. Let's listen to this. Well,
you can
might have to go through an ad
save the lives
first.
of children like Beckett by supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
So listen to this.
Every soul finds a home in the flame. Every voice lifts his holy name. Jesus, light of the world. Jesus, light of the world.
Guys, that song is AI generated too. It does not exist. I've gone through, I've looked for the lyrics, who performs this, who sings this, where have these lyrics appeared. And I'll often, it'll Google, their AI results will say things such as, well, this is probably from a private poem that someone wrote, or this is possibly AI generated. It has bits of lyrics from all these different songs, and it'll list the different songs. So these are AI generated, but keep in mind, to a passive listener, when this is playing in the background, I couldn't tell these weren't humans performing this, that these weren't real songs. It's very unsettling to think about that. And again, we can look at this video and we see almost 2 million views in about a month time since November 14th. There's a bunch of comments down here and people saying, oh, this is wonderful. I love listening to these classics. Now, maybe a lot of these people didn't get past that hour and 20-minute mark. But again, I did for a long time and didn't realize these were AI generated, and I was listening to them. And so again, I want to, what's unsettling is these sound like real people and real songs, and they aren't. But also, again, I was drawn to some of these AI songs specifically over the classics that have endured the test of time. Now, part of that is probably because I've heard those classics hundreds of times, that all of them pretty much were recorded before I was born. So I've heard them over and over and over, year after year after year, my whole life. And then something new came along that was, okay, this sounds good. Maybe I'll listen to this. This is soothing. This is peaceful. It evoked emotion within me. Right? There's something about this I like. Well, of course there's something about it I like, because it's generated from all the pieces of the best Christmas hits of all time. And it's a blend of some of the best performers of all time. Some of these, if you listen closely, you'll hear actual pieces that are from a Frank Sinatra song. It's Frank Sinatra's voice. It's the exact line he uses in that song, and then it blends into some combination of Sinatra and Dean Martin and some other performers. But guys, this is deceptive and manipulative. again, it's a song, so it's not ruining my life to have listened to the song. But again, I want to focus on the feelings and the emotions the song can bring up and how AI could do this, how it can create something like this. Again, we've talked about AI-generated songs topping the country music charts and Christian gospel charts. Very recently, just this year, in the past few weeks, in fact. But I want you to think about how this applies to other things as well, not just music, but propaganda. Think about the words of a human being, of a man. And when algorithms can determine, well, what will evoke emotions and feelings within a person to make them like something or like what they're hearing, enjoy what they're hearing, how is that applied to when someone says, I've never heard a man speak like this? Right? Listen to what this leader is saying. And again, I want to take a look at what the Bible tells us about this. It says in Revelation chapter 13, verses 1 through 7, it says, Then I saw a beast rising up out of the sea. It had 7 heads and 10 horns with 10 crowns on its horns, and written on each head were names that blasphemed God. This beast looked like a leopard, but it had the feet of a bear and the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave the beast his own power and throne and great authority. I saw that one of the heads of the beast seemed wounded beyond recovery, but the fatal wound was healed. The whole world marveled at this miracle and gave allegiance to the beast. They worshiped the dragon for giving the beast such power, and they also worshiped the beast. Who is as great as the beast, they exclaimed. Who is able to fight against him? Then the beast was allowed to speak great blasphemies against God, and he was given authority to do whatever he wanted for 42 months. And he spoke terrible words of blasphemy against God, slandering his name and his dwelling, that is, those who dwell in heaven. And the beast was allowed to wage war against God's holy people and to conquer them. And he was given authority to rule over every tribe and people and language and nation. So there's a lot to unpack in this passage. We won't get into all of it today, but this is speaking of the Antichrist and how the world will marvel at the Antichrist. We've talked about how the world will worship him for the power he has, and how he will speak these terrible words of blasphemy against God, slandering his name and his dwelling, but to the world that worships him, these will be music to their ears. It will be what they want to hear. It will be what their itching ears want to hear. And with AI algorithms, we've talked about focus group politicians my entire life. All that. I want a politician who's real, who doesn't sound like every soundbite has been tested in a focus group. Well, these don't even have to be tested in a focus group. They've been shown to work. If you've got an AI algorithm that says, hey, here's the greatest Christmas hits of all time, create a new song using these pieces, and it does it, and you can't readily tell that it isn't chopped up pieces of those songs, but there's something in it that sounds appealing. And when AI can do this, knowing all the data that is being gathered on us, what we think, what we believe, what actions we're taking, almost everything about our lives, and this can be used to manipulate people. And I believe the Antichrist will be using these technologies and these powers to manipulate people. Guys, the world is ripe for deception right now, is the big takeaway from this video. And why I found this disturbing and unsettling. These are not real people singing, but it sounds like backup singers that sound real. Again, I'll put a link in the description of this video so you can go look at this video. Again, around the minute 24 mark to the end, or the hour 24 minute mark to the end, is all AI songs. And they, for the most part, sound like real songs. You can notice, if you really pay attention, again, I was passively listening to these, but if you really pay attention, you'll notice some lyrics that are out of place. I think there's one where it says, well, sleigh bells glow, and you think, well, they might glisten or gleam, but would sleigh bells glow? You know, that seems a little awkward and misplaced within the lyrics. There's some other sections like that, but nothing that's really outrageous to the point where you would say, well, this is definitely AI. The way you would with, say, some of the video that was on this, where you could see, well, the train wheels are all granulated in some scenes. In one case, a present just appears out of a man's hand, other things like that. But the transition of these songs, the elements of these songs that were taken from hits and just blended together seamlessly, again, is rather unsettling. And I think it points to a coming time when the Antichrist will rise to power. And the world will be entranced. The world will be enthralled with what they hear coming from this man, unfortunately. But guys, none of this, even though this is disturbing and unsettling, we shouldn't be fearful as a result of this. If you know Jesus Christ, Jesus gives a peace that surpasses all understanding. So if you know him, keep your eyes fixed on him, knowing what he has already overcome the world. We have nothing but joy to look forward to in the eternity to come. If you do not know Jesus Christ, I would pray that you would invite him into your life today. He is pursuing you as we speak, knocking on the door of your heart. Invite him in and have a relationship with Jesus Christ. It will transform you forever. You will never be the same. You will have no regrets. And again, you will have a peace that surpasses all understanding. So guys, I hope that if there's somebody out there watching this that doesn't know Jesus, that they'll come to know him today. And guys, we're heading into Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, later next week, when we celebrate the birth of Jesus, the light that came into the world. God became flesh and dwelt among men. Emmanuel, God is with us. Again, we should be filled with joy, not fear over the things we see. We should have concern, and we should be telling people about these things, warning people about these things, alerting people to these things. But that doesn't mean we should be filled with fear and stressed out about these things. No, we should be filled with joy and peace, because the Prince of Peace has already come, and he has conquered all of this, and he's coming back to reign on this earth in the days ahead. So guys, let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. Listen to some of these songs. Let me know what you think about these songs. You know, did you immediately go, these are AI, Britt, how could you get fooled by this? Right, maybe you did. But it took me several times of listening to this and then thinking, well, what is this song? Let me go look it up. Let me plug in some lyrics so I can find this song, see who performed this song. What's the name of this song? Only to find out AI created it. It does not exist except as an AI song. It's not, but you can't find the lyrics written out anywhere or who performed it, because it's all AI generated. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and God willing, I will see you on Monday.